Hey everyone, Tony George, Doc Sports. Happy Hump Day update. More college basketball. How about another totals play? Totals play last night on the Kansas State game. Ooh, that over was good. Looking forward to. A matter of fact, I'm going to talk about one I passed on today and one that both these we passed on for totals. We have a three-pack today, which is rare for us in college basketball. Really like the board on the small conference side of things today. So we did a 9-unit three-pack flat bet, 3 units each right across the board. 2 and 1, you profit. 3 and 0, we're all doing cartwheels. I'm planning on a 3 and 0 day today in college basketball. Before we get to the game, the GOAT, Tom Brady, retired officially for sure. 46 years old. 7 Super Bowl rings. One when he was 43 years old against Patrick Mahomes, the rising star in the NFL. Can't argue it. You know, I grew up in a time where we were able to watch this guy play. I'll never forget being in the VIP section of the Hard Rock Sportsbook, having a huge party for the Atlanta Tampa Bay Super Bowl, or the Atlanta New England Super Bowl, and seeing them down, 28-3 or something? What were the halftime score, bringing them back? That right, and trust me, you either love him or you hate him, and there's no in between. The guy was never surrounded by a bunch of Hall of Fame superstars like Montana, Gronk, you could argue, is a superstar. But Edelman, a bunch of role players. No huge superstar or Hall of Famers at Tampa Bay when he won, against Kansas City. The guy is just, and he beat up my Chiefs in the AFC Championship, a game I was at, in overtime. One of the 5 AFC championships Kansas City's been to. I've witnessed his greatness in person numerous times. In person. And I'm not a huge fan because he was beating up on my Chiefs when he was in New England. That being said, he's the GOAT. We grew up in a time where I was in my prime in the 90s. I got to go to Chicago and watch the Bulls play the Jazz in the finals and see Michael Jordan. Seen Kobe Bryant in Denver when he was playing for LA. Saw Allen Iverson in Chicago against Jordan. I grew up in grade school, I grew up in a time where it was Bird and Magic, Celtics and Lakers, and I had a fanatical father who liked the NBA. We watched the games. They were not like it is today. There was one game on a Saturday or Sunday, and if it was ever Boston, LA, it was just, you're sitting there like you're watching, the national championships. Like, wow. So I've been fortunate enough to grow up in this era and in these times in my age where I've seen these greats, and I've never seen anybody better than Tom Brady. So, people are sick of him, all this, that, and the other, whatever. I don't think we'll ever see a quarterback get to 7 Super Bowl rings. Ever. Ever. 3 or 4 would be automatic Hall of Fame. 7, first ballot unanimous. Off into the sunset you go. And $360 million for 10 years with Fox Sports. Unreal. Could you loan me a couple? Just a couple? I can call it quits. Come on. Help a brother out. Let's get to these games. One game we passed on tonight that we looked at, just me and you, cup of coffee, taking a piss over a fence post. East Carolina, South Florida, under 141. Just one we looked at. The game we'll talk about is Tennessee, Florida. Rick Barnes has got the number 2 team in the country. You Tennessee Volunteer fans are going to be pissed when he gets in the NCAA tournament. This boy can't win a big one. Can't do it. I was surprised he beat Texas this last weekend. Florida couldn't beat Kansas State. You saw last night that Kansas State plays no defense at all. What they put up, 54? Hello. Total in this game is 131.5, 132-ish. I like the under. I don't think either one of these teams has seen a defense like they're going to face in each other tonight. This is a type of game that Rick Barnes loses. On the road, 5.5-point favorite against a stout defense. Number 60 in the country, Tennessee. Let's look at some of these numbers here because it's pretty impressive. Tennessee, number 1 in points allowed. Number 1 in field goal percentage allowed. Let's see, Florida's shooting 38% from the floor. And Tennessee is allowing 34% from the floor on the year. 22% from three-point range on the perimeter. Florida shooting 30. Florida won't have more than 54 points in this game. If you look at the defenses combined, last 5 games, they've allowed 118 a game and scored 134. It's going to fall somewhere in between there. I think it's safe we take the under tonight in this big game here. Ought to be a good one. You know, in Tennessee, pedestrian numbers from the floor. Recently on offense, last 5, 45% from the floor, 31% from three-point range. On the road against a good defense, going to be determined. Slow the pace of play. Both of them hit the boards good. I think it's a low-scoring game. Might bring those points into play, although I just don't know how much Florida can score. They'll be in the 50s. Say you get to 70. If you're Tennessee, still well under the total. I'll play under. I know it's dropping down. I know it's a popular bet, but I think it's worth the stretch. And bear in mind, these are free picks. These aren't things we're unloading on. We're not selling them grandma's bonds and, you know, as I always say, you know, we're not putting up a house payment on it. It's free pick. But I'll give a lean to the under in this one. I think it's going to be a good ball game, actually. But I think Florida's really going to struggle to put points up in this one. And if you struggle against Kansas State's defense, you're really going to struggle against Tennessee. That's the free pick. Over at DocSports.com, thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at TGeorgeSports. Come give me a follow. I'm going to be putting out some free plays that aren't found here. Matter of fact, I'll probably put up an NBA prop today, since we've got one. But nonetheless, free $60 link in the description below. If you've never been a member, we'll park it in your account. You can use it anywhere on the website. As I always say, don't like me, I don't care. A lot of people don't like me. A lot of people do like me too. But there's 11 other guys over there. Some of them on some massive hot streaks. Go check it out. Check out the website. 95% of the stuff over there is free. All kinds of stuff on props, the Super Bowl, MVPs, every basketball game you can imagine with write-ups on it. If you're doing your own handicapping. A lot of free picks, videos, odds, scores, matchup programs, you name it. It's all free. Check it out. Triple header college basketball. 4-unit NHL play. Big one tonight right before the All-Star break. Toronto at home taking on Boston. 2 of the NHL elite. Who wins? I'll tell you, and you'll win 4 units in the process. Go catch it. Hit 3 out of our last 4 in hockey and on a nice roll in the NHL heading in the All-Star break. So looking forward to that. Hockey will be back up next Monday after tonight. NBA last night, won with the Lakers. Tonight we got another game for you. Come on. Let's win another one. I got a big goal here. Going to get on a big roll before the NBA All-Star break, and we're going to rip some butt in the second half of the season and pull ourselves out of the cellar in the NBA. Doc Sports, place to be. Booyah.